Okay. So today we had done in our last class, we had done, if you remember, dot product, cross product and triple product, and we had done some sample numericals also, and I had given you sort of assignment, very preliminary sums for you to practice. Some of you have sent me the completed assessment sheets, but I am extremely busy with college work right now, so I did not get time to check your assignment sheets. If you have problem with any particular sum that you could not do, which shouldn't be the case in this particular assignment sheet, then you can send me. Otherwise, these are just for your practice. So unless I tell you that you need to send the assessment sheet, I mean the assignment worked out problems back to me, then you do not need to do that. Okay. So since we are all more or less done with the preliminary vector concepts and the product of addition, subtraction and product of vectors. So today we will start with vector differentiation. All right. So someone's microphone is on and I want him or her to mute that microphone right now because it creates a lot of disturbance. Okay, so vector differentiation, what we'll do is we have to understand that so long you have done a lot of problems on vectors in your +2 mathematics course and a little bit in your applied physics course. So, but you have never done, you've never differentiated a vector, okay? So you have to understand that vector differentiation is nothing more or less than scalar differentiation. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is that when you differentiate a scalar quantity, you know that if the quantity is a constant, then there is no sense of saying that you need to differentiate it, okay? You can differentiate a scalar only when it is a variable quantity. So for example, you can differentiate say a quantity, say a velocity of a particle. If I ask you to find its acceleration, you will do dv dt. You will differentiate the velocity with respect to time. But if velocity is a constant
Excuse me,
quantity,
ma'am.
yes,
मैम स्क्रीन शो नहीं हो रहा है.
you cannot see vector differentiation written on the left of my screen.
No, ma'am.
I can see the red border. Now can you see?
No,
Do you see
ma'am.
some?
No, ma'am.
Now can you see my screen?
No, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And
You
the
should see
correct.
my, I can see the red border, so you should see the screen. I mean, there's nothing else that I can do. There must be some end at your problem, the person who's saying screen show nahi ho raha hai. Because I can, if I can see the red border, then it means that you can see the screen.
Ma'am,
Not showing.
Ma'am, even we cannot see that.
Ma'am, your screen is not showing.
This,
It's blank actually.
how can it be that some
And the
people can
correct.
see the screen and some people cannot see the screen? That cannot be. That is, I mean, that is not possible unless you have a network issue. If the screen can be seen, that everyone will be able to see the screen whose network is running smoothly. If not, then no one will be able to see the screen. I can see the red border, which means that my screen is being shared. So I'll continue with the class. If you cannot see the screen or anything, then you can check for the recording in my YouTube channel, or I'll share the PPT also later on in LMS.
Excuse me,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
The screen is not visible. Not visible.
Some people can see the screen, other people can. What can you see in the screen?
Blank.
Ma'am, who are the people that can see?
Some are saying they can see the screen. Vector differentiation is written on my
Yes,
screen
ma'am.
right now.
But
Can you see
mostly
that?
people are not able to see that.
Some people are saying that they can see vector differentiation written on the screen right now.
Yes, ma'am. দেখা যাচ্ছে vector differentiation screen দেখা যাচ্ছে।
If you cannot see my screen, those who cannot see my screen, then you please check your settings, etc. There must be something wrong, because I am following this method for the last 10 months now, doing online classes, and everyone can see my screen. Now also at present, some people can see my screen. So those who can't, then the problem must be in their end. Okay, I cannot do anything about it right now. So vector differentiation. Now we will consider a vector R, which is a function. Please mute your microphones, otherwise I will have to stop my class and you can check my notes from LMS. I'll just upload my notes in the LMS and you can check my notes from there. I cannot take a class like this. So let us consider a vector R, which is a function of some parameter u. We don't know what u is right now. U can be any variable. It can be a position variable. It can be a time variable. We don't know what it is now. Just let us consider that u is some parameter on which the vector R depends. Okay, so R is a function of the parameter u. So just as I was telling you that just like for a scalar function, when you do scalar differentiation, you cannot carry out differentiation if the function is a constant. It has to be a variable. Okay, so when you are differentiating with respect to something. You differentiate position with respect to time to get velocity. You differentiate velocity with respect to time to get acceleration, right? So you are, when you differentiate, it means you differentiate with respect to something. If it's just a constant quantity, there is no, it doesn't make sense in saying that we are going to differentiate that quantity. All right. So similarly, in case of a vector 2, we will not talk about constant vectors anymore. So if we are trying to differentiate the vector, it means that we have to differentiate with respect to a certain parameter, and the vector depends. The vector itself is a function of that certain parameter. So keeping that in mind here, I've written a vector which is a function of some parameter u. All right. That's what I've written. The vector is dependent on a single scalar variable u. Then this is the definition of the ratio delta r by delta u. Okay. So what have I done? The parameter u has been changed by an infinitesimal amount delta u. Okay, so u becomes u plus delta u. So since r is dependent on the variable u, so the moment the parameter u changes from u to u plus delta u, we get r to r of u to r of u plus delta u. Okay, And this ratio delta R by delta U is something like this. So delta R is the change in the vector R because of the change in the parameter U, looks like this. R at U plus delta U minus R at U divided by delta U. Okay. Where delta U denotes an increase or decrease also in the variable U. All right. So suppose this is the vector RU, R, which is a function of U. So I've written every time I'll write RU. So it starts at the position O and is directed at some orientation. So this is the vector RU. And when I change the parameter U to U plus delta U, this is the new vector that I get, the new position and magnitude that I get of R at the changed value of U when U becomes U plus delta U. All right. So this is the vector delta R, which you can get according to the triangle law of vector addition. Okay. So RU plus delta U minus RU gives you the change in the vector R. So the ordinary derivative of the vector R with respect to the scalar U is defined like this. dr du is limit delta U tends to 0, delta R by delta U, which is equal to R at U plus delta U minus R at U divided by delta U. So if you remember, I hope all of you can differentiate. You have done differentiation a lot for your +2 maths syllabus. And you know a lot of different kinds of differentiation and the formulae, but I hope you all remembered the first principle of differentiation. What is the meaning of differentiating a function? This was the first principle definition of differentiation. You increase the variable by an infinitesimal amount. Infinitesimal means very, very tiny. Okay, infinitesimal amount, and then you take the limit of that change to 0. If that limit exists, then the first derivative, the first ordinary derivative of the function with respect to that variable is defined in this manner. And it is the same in case of vectors, just as it is defined in the case of scalars. All right. So the derivative that you get of the vector R, that is dr du, is a vector which is dependent on U, and you can also get the higher derivatives, that is d2r du2, d3r du3, etc. if they exist. If the derivatives for the higher derivatives also exist, then you can get them too. Someone is writing in my WhatsApp that take my class on Google Meet app. I do not take a class on Google Meet because in Google Meet, in the free Google Meet app, in the free Google Meet app, I cannot record the class, and if I cannot record the class, I cannot keep it for future reference, which I think is a good thing for the students because they can play back the class at